Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Immortal Creed Academy. This is, I believe, episode 7. In the previous episodes, the last two ones, we talked about specifically melee and range cards. And in this one, I'd like to take a little more of a deep dive into the magic cards. So let's go ahead and let's go to our library, go to equipment. I'm going to sort here by magic. And you'll see that we have these cards right here. These are all the magic cards that are in the game. In the last episode, I pretty much start with legendaries, so let's go ahead and start with legendaries, and we'll work our way through, and we'll take a quick look at each one of these cards and what they do. First thing up, we got Serenity. Serenity is a magic dealing weapon. You see here at level 1, it literally just does straight damage, magic damage, 24 points of damage. Then you goes up here to level 10. You can see here it's up to 110 damage. It also gets a bonus of a plus 10 magic damage. That's plus 10% magic damage. And you read here, Serenity increases your magic damage dealt by 10%. The effect stacks with each use. It's also a 2-turn card, as you can see here in the top right-hand corner. You have the 2. And it has a speed of 8. Down here in the left, the bottom of the card, you see the 8 with the little stopwatch. Really good card. You can see it starts getting that bonus to magic damage here when it gets to level 2. And it keeps creeping up, and it starts getting a little bit higher and a little bit higher all the way until level 10. Probably, some people have said this is one of the best cards in the game. If you're playing with magic, that's what you tend to go to. It's a really good card. Let's move on to Serpent's Gaze. You can see here at level 1, this is a 1-turn card, indicated by the 1 in the top right corner. 11 points of magic damage, 8 speed. Let's take a look at this same card once we get up to level 10. Still a 1-turn card and 74 damage. You can notice that this card does not get any extra abilities or bonuses with it. That's one thing to note. It is a legendary. It gets a good bit more damage than some of the other cards, but no extra abilities on this card. Next one up is the Blessed Fortune. Another 1-turn card, 11 points of magic damage, 8 speed. If you notice from the other videos, I mentioned that the melee and range cards generally have a faster speed of attack than the magic cards. And that's, you can see it's true here. These are all 8, where the melee, you generally run around the speed of about 5 or 6, and range run around 3 in speed. So you're going to find that most of your magic cards are a little bit slower than the other ones. On this Blessed Fortune, you can see here at level 1, it doesn't have any abilities. But let's take a look at level 10. And you can see here that you have a minus 5% to ranged hit, or I'm sorry, ranged damage. Sorry. Yeah, so it's 5 ranged damage dealt by 5%. This is going to take away from that damage of any ranged attacks. So really good card. If you know your opponent's playing range, you're going to go up against them, you can reduce that damage. Let's take a look at it again here, and you can see that it gets this ability starting at card level 2 of a minus 2%, stays at minus 2% until that level 4, then it starts creeping up at level 3, all the way to level 7. Level 8, you get that minus 4, level 9, minus 4, and then finally at level 10, you have minus 5% to range hit. To range damage. Sorry. Moving on, we're going to step over here to our epics. Another really good card is Obsidian Staff. You see here at level 1, 2-turn card, 7 speed, 22 magic damage. Now, this card, I love playing this card when I'm playing somebody with melee. As you can see in the higher levels, you now have a minus 5% to melee damage. Right here, minus 5%. So you're going to be taking that damage away. A lot of melee buffs in the game tend to focus on damage instead of to hit. So this is a great card if you're playing against melee. Let's go back and take a look at, let's do 114 magic damage, 7 speed. So let's go back and take a look at this one. You can see at level 2, you're getting that 2%. Level 3, 2%. Level 4, 2% minus to magic, melee damage. Then you got 5, 6, and 7 are both minus 3% to melee damage. Then at level 8 and 9, minus 4. And then finally at level 10, you get the minus 5. Here's another great card. The Infused Rod. At level 1, it's a 1-turn card, 7 speed, with 10 magic damage. Let's go take a look at this card at level 10. At level 10, look at this. We got an ability going on here. Now this card, 20% chance to stun your opponent on a successful hit, which magic always hits. That means that every time you use this card, you're going to have a 20% chance to stun your opponent. What that stun does is basically the next card that will be triggered, whether in the same turn or in the next turn, depending on the speed of the card played against, is going to not be able to be used. It's going to negate that card and anything that goes along with it. Also gets a nice little 45 magic damage to it. Let's go back and take a look at this one and see. And now you can see, though, the Infused Rod doesn't get that ability all the way until you get it to level 5. At level 5, it starts at 10%. 6, it goes up to 12, then 14, 16, 18, and finally at max level, 20% stun chance. So if you're playing in the lower ranks, novice, up to diamond or so, you got gold, you're not really going to get a whole lot of usefulness on that stun out of this because it doesn't have that yet. But once you get up to rank 5, level 5 card, you're going to start using that because you're going to want to sometimes get that little bit of stun. All right, let's move on to our rares. Dragon's Breath. Level 1, Dragon's Breath is a 2-turn card, 20 points of magic damage, and a 7 speed. This card also gets an ability. You can see here, starting at level 2, you got the 5 with the little poison, all the way up to level 10. Let's take a look at the level 10 card. Now you have 100 points of magic damage, and then you have 13 poison damage also. If you watching the other videos, I think I talked about poison, and poison is applied on a hit. It's applied, you get that 13 points of damage, and then on the next turn, it's going to be halved. So on the next turn, you take 13, divide that by 2, which will give you basically 6.5. Then you're going to round that down to 6. So this card on the first turn will do 13 damage. On the next turn, will do 6 poison damage. Then the next turn is going to have again to 3, and on the next turn, it's going to have again, and you're basically going to do 1. So you're going to add all those up, and you're going to get all that extra damage excuse me, out of the next few turns for using this card and that poison damage. Go back and take a look at it real quick. You can see at level 2, it gets 5 poison damage. Level 3, 6. Level 4, 7. Then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 13 poison damage at this top level, level 10. Next card in line we have here is Enlightened Wand. This card, just so you know, does not get any abilities, just straight magic damage all the way through. So 1-turn card, 9 magic damage, 7 speed. And as you increase levels of this card, it's going to increase the damage. Once you get to level 10, you're going to get 54 magic damage on this card. Our next rare here, Ebon Wand. This one actually does get an actual ability to it. And as you can see, it's once again poison. And one of the few cards that actually gets a little bit of poison damage starting at level 1. So, level 1 card, 1 turn, 8 magic damage, 7 speed, and 1 poison. 1 point of poison for getting this card off. That means on the next turn, that 1 damage of poison is going to be halved to a 0.5, which gets rounded down to a 0. So on level 1 card, you're going to get 1 poison damage. That's it. Let's take a look at it at the highest level. Here we go. So now you got 40 points of magic damage and 10 points of poison. Once again, first turn this card lands, you get 10 points of poison, then you half that to 5 on the next turn, then you're going to half that again on the third turn. That's 2.5 rounded down is 2. Then you're going to half that again, and on the fourth turn, you're going to get 1 point. Fifth turn, no more poison. So, a little bit of bonus there, a little bit more damage that kind of just gradually decreases over time for using these poison cards. And you can see from level 1 all the way up to level 10, it's a gradual increase at each level of a little bit more poison damage. Now, we have one more rare to discuss, which I skipped over because this is a kind of a unique card in the game, Infused Hammer. It's the only card in the game that actually does melee damage and magic damage. I talked about this one earlier when I did the melee set. And because I filtered by magic, that's why this card's showing up here right now. Real quickly, I just go back over this one again. Level 1 is a 2-turn card, 33 melee damage, and 6 magic damage. Now, one thing about this card that's a little different from other magic cards is that it relies on this melee chance to hit. If you do not hit with the melee, don't hit with this card, you're not going to get that 6 magic damage. That's one thing about this card you have to keep in mind. It also makes this card unavailable in some rule sets, so pay attention to that. I'm not going to go over this one too much more. I did in one of the other videos on melee. You can check that one out if you'd like to. The rest of the cards we have here in the Magic are common. Let's take a real quick look at these. This is a 2-turn common staff. At level 1, you got 18 points of magic damage and a 6 speed. One of the faster magic cards in the game. Let's go look at this one again at level 10. Now you have a 97 magic damage, still a 6 speed. Let's go find us a 1-turn magic card here. We have Bronze Rod, 1 turn, 8 magic damage, 6 speed. Most of our commons in the game don't get any abilities. In fact, I don't think there's a common in the game that does get an ability. So let's look at this one at level 10. 44 magic damage, still 6 speed. Great cards to fill up a lineup if you just need a few extra cards, or if you're in a 1-turn only card set. These smaller magic commons are great. I use them a lot. All right. Now, I believe that's everything for magic. Just bear in mind, I mentioned earlier, magic, unlike melee and ranged, always hits. Melee and ranged have a hit chance. Magic always hits. So when it comes to a hit chance, unlike the melee cards or range cards, in order to get these abilities, so like Serenity here, in order to get that 10% plus the magic damage, you have to hit with it. Now, since you're always hitting with magic, you're going to automatically always get that. Something you can count on when you're playing magic, that you don't have to worry about the hit chances. Now, since magic always hits, generally magic does a little less damage than the melee and the range cards to kind of help balance that out in the game. All right, I believe that's it for all of our magic cards. Thank you for watching this episode of Immortal Creed Academy. I'll be back with another. I think I still have a few more cards to do that are the equipment cards, and we'll cover those in the next episode. Thanks for watching.